Hey everyone, so today's just going to be kind of a laid-back chit-chat video about Warped Tour, the very last one from Vans, and I went for the first time, and obviously the last time that I'll be able to go, on Monday, July 16th at KeyBank Pavilion right outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I just wanted to sit down and talk a little bit about my experience and all that fun stuff, show you what I got. To start off with, I'm wearing this SandCloud Wanderlust t-shirt, I believe it's called. It's really cute, and this is like the first time I'm wearing it. I don't know if you can see what's on the back. I probably just goofed that up, but it's a brand that I'm an ambassador for. They have like a big ambassador program you can join. So if you're ever interested in ordering from them, my coupon code is ANG, capital K, lowercase e, and then 15, the number 15. And you get 15% off an order, or you can join their ambassador program. And once you get all that figured out and you get your code, then you save 25% off orders. So it's just something to keep in mind if you were wondering where my shirt's from. It's not just a handmade tie-dye shirt. Okay, so I went with a friend of mine. Well, she's kind of like, she's pretty much family, but I'll just call her a friend. She just asked me one day, she's like, hey, really want to go? I went last year for the first time, and this is the last one, so would you like to go? So I said yes a couple weeks ago, or maybe a couple months ago, something like that, and I was like really excited. And when I checked like the listings and everything, I didn't know a lot of bands. Like, I knew songs from a couple of them, and I've like heard of the other bands and everything, but I'd never like listened. And my plan was, over the couple months after we got the tickets and everything, I wanted to like listen to a lot of the bands just to get familiar with some of their music. But I didn't end up doing that. Not even the bands that I was like familiar with the new songs from. I was like, screw it. I'm just going to go and listen to some new music, hopefully recognize some. And other than that, it'll just be an experience. And another reason that I really wanted to go was because, like, obviously, being in Pennsylvania, I'm not anywhere near California where they have the big Coachella and everything, and that'd be a lot of fun. And I know this is nowhere close to being Coachella, because Coachella is, like, huge, all kinds of crazy stuff. It lasts for multiple days long. They have all kinds of artists, not just, like, emo, alternative kind of music and everything. But I was like, might as well go, because it's like still kind of an experience being out in the heat all day, getting to go to different bands as you please and stuff like that. So I need to quit rambling. While I was there, I got to see We the Kings, which is the like main band that I actually knew of, and I recognized some of their songs, didn't know the words, but I knew the song Check Yes Juliet like word for word, and that was the very last song they sang. And that was really fun. And they also sang, like, a new song. Apparently, a new album of theirs came out last week or something like that they were saying. And they wanted to start a music video for one of their songs. I can't even remember what it was called. Like, it was something like Next To, or I don't know. But they were like, we're going to start the music video with you. So they, like, filmed the crowd, like, people crowd surfing, people jumping up in the air and everything. So that was pretty cool. I mean, I'm not going to be able to see myself in the music video when it comes out, but just to watch it and know that I was there and that all the people around me, like, that you can see were like, you know, I was right there when it happened, so that'll be fun to see. Yeah, I'm really short. You can't tell from the videos, but I'm 4'9" at adult height, and I wasn't jumping up and down or anything like that. I like to just stand there and listen to music. Sometimes I dance, but, like, you know, just kind of there. Yeah, so, I don't really know. It's hard for me to, like, just give you a good sit-down video. I didn't write anything out, like, to plan on what I was going to say. I just wanted to sit down and just talk to you like I was talking to a friend. So, some of the things that happened, there ended up being, like, they said there was an estimated 20,000 people at ours at KeyBank Pavilion, which is crazy. I knew there was a lot of people there. I could see it every time I looked around. But, like, 20,000 people, that's a lot of people. I was like, maybe there's, like, 1,000 here, 2,000. But it was a lot higher. And also, our local news channel, like, for Pittsburgh, they had a helicopter flying above, and I was like, man, they're just really excited about this show. But that wasn't the case. They were actually there to cover the fact that the extreme heat was getting to people, and a lot of people were passing out. It's not funny. Like, I feel really bad for those people. So whenever you go, if you go, make sure there's, like, tents and everything that have, like, sprayers and stuff like that. Go through those as many times as you can. They have a big water slide. Wear a bathing suit or something under your clothes. Or, like, bring one to change into. There's not a lot of places. I didn't go to the bathroom once while I was there. There's just not a lot of places to change. So, like, try to come prepared in that sense. Wear a lot of sunscreen because you can't tell, but, like, my shoulders, a little bit around my forehead, I think my scalp got burnt. And then my nose, especially yesterday, like, you could really see it, got burnt. And I was wearing SPF 70 on my face and 85 on my body. The person I went with, she didn't wear any at all. She was like a lobster. But, yeah, just make sure you, like, take as many preventative methods you can, especially because you can only bring one factory-sealed water there, whether it's, like, just a regular-sized bottle or a gallon, but that you can only go up to a gallon per person. Bring, like, it's going to get warm, so, like, I wouldn't recommend bringing a gallon thinking that's going to get you through the day unless you're fine with drinking warm water and carrying a big jug all through, like, the fields or wherever you're at or through all the stages. It's not a good idea. Just make sure, as much as it stinks to have to spend $3 to $5 or whatever on a bottle of water and upwards of that for any other drinks, bring, like, at least $20 towards drink. I probably spent $30 towards drinks because I was just so thirsty throughout the day and I knew I needed it. That's something, like, as much as you hate to spend the money on, it's so necessary when you're there, and it's, like, understandable, because you don't want to be one of those people that are passing out. But anyways, like, 100 people were treated at the place. There's all kinds of ambulances around and, like, med vans and everything. And then, like, 27 people had to go to the hospital. And one was even taken by a helicopter and everything. Like, it was just insane. We stayed from 11 when it started, like, we went in and everything, and we left around 4, even though shows went into, like, 9 o'clock, and one of the bands we went to see, 303, if that's how you say it, we wanted to see them, and she kind of wanted to see Bowling for Soup, but they were so late in the evening, we were like, no way, gotta get out of here. So anyways, while we were waiting online to get in, you're gonna see, like, you're gonna see people that, try to sell you their albums, and they're not part of the show. They're just kind of like, oh yeah, we travel around for Warped Tour, and I had no idea this was going to happen before we went there. And they're like, yeah, trying to sell our albums, we live off donations. And the one guy, he came up to us, he handed us an album, like, he's standing there, we're holding these albums, and he goes to us, he's like, hey, have you ever met so-and-so, like the name of the singer? And we're like, no, never heard of him. And he goes, well, you just met him, here you go, nice to meet you, and gave us a handshake and everything. And I was like, okay, this guy's pretty nice, like, that's cool, giving out albums. And he goes, yeah, I live off donations, and that's how I'm able to make music, and I'm a struggling artist, blah, blah, blah. And we're, like, listening to him. And he's like, he looks at me, and he's, like, staring at me. He's like, do you speak English? And I'm like, what, you gave us an album, and you're standing here saying you want a donation. We have no idea who you are, what kind of music that you have. And then he was like, so you gonna buy one or not? And I was like, no. And he's standing there just watching me for, like, a minute. He was barely even watching her. She had an album too. He was, like, focused in on me. He goes, so you gonna buy one or not? And I said, no, I don't really know you. And he rips it out of both of our hands and starts walking away. He's like, the line's moving, holy shit. And I'm like, why? It's like, sorry, I just swore, but, like, that's literally what the guy said. It's like, you're not doing a very good job, bud. Even the people that were behind us, when he came over to them to talk to them, they're like, no, sorry, bud, like, your album's shit, and you shouldn't even try to sell it because you're just being rude to everybody. So that's what happened. I was a little shaken up by that because it's kind of scary, but I got over it. I was like, he's just an idiot. And then while we were waiting in line, like, people come around and they pass out stuff to you. We got these little wristbands that look like this. It's pretty cute. And then it has, like, a coupon inside of it that says get $5 off your purchase of $25 or more from Journeys, which is pretty nice. I never buy anything from Journeys, but that's cool. Another thing is, the tickets, we actually lost ours. She got them in the mail and everything. We couldn't find them the morning of, and she looked up online, and you can actually, if you have your credit card that you bought the tickets with and your ID with you, it takes like 2 seconds for them to look them up in the system, and they reprint you new ones. So just keep that in mind in case you lose tickets, or you're like, you just bought them and you're like, oh my god, I lose everything. How am I going to keep track of these until da-da-da-da-da whenever your show is? Keep that in mind. Another thing is that you have to pay for like a map. Man, I'm blurry. Can I fix it? There. They sell maps and schedules. You don't get these for free just for being there. As much as you hate having to pay for something like this, a piece of paper, do it. And if you can, try to have 2 like $1 bills or whatever handy, or at least 5 instead of like a 20 or whatever, because people are like swarming that station when you first walk in because everyone wants one of these. It's really important. It shows you where all the first aid booths are, where all the different stages are, where like food and drink is, emergency exits, band merchandise, just everything. It shows you on this map, and it helps you navigate around. And then on the other side, it's the schedule, which I know you're not going to be able to see, but it's really important because if you want to see like multiple bands and you want to like plan out, and you want to plan out like which ones you're going to go see at what time and everything, this just shows you, so you're not like looking around. Or if you're just kind of walking around and not like going and listening to a band, and you just happen to walk past the stage and hear a band and they're like, oh yeah, that's really good, then all you have to do is check. You look at the sign, see what stage you're at, check your phone to see what time it is, and then check, the listing and everything, and it'll tell you who's singing. So we actually only really saw, we obviously saw people while we were walking around, but the main 3 that we like sat down and like listened to were Sleep on It and Water Parks, which they were like back to back. And I thought they were really good. They were more like my type of music, not like really heavy stuff. And I don't know, like I didn't buy any of their merch or anything, or stay the entire time, but I did catch some of their songs and I thought they were good. And the main one that we saw was We the Kings. And I don't know if I mentioned this already. Oh yeah, I did mention. Sorry, it took me a second, but they were filming a music video at the time, and I thought that was really cool. And I ended up, before I left, I actually bought their shirt because I did want to get. I ended up buying this. It's the Vans like Warped Tour like official t-shirt. Just wanted a basic one that has all the tour dates and everything on the back. I wanted that just like to remember the show. And I also was like, well, if you like We the Kings and you knew some of their songs, so why don't you just get it? That Vans shirt was $20. I'm so sidetracked. But anyways, I got this cute like tank top and everything. It's kind of like a racer back in the back. It says We the Kings, and then it says sad song all around it, and then it says sad song down the spine. And that one was $25. It's a cute shirt. I normally don't spend that much on a shirt, but since it was kind of like an experience, and I've been saving up money specifically for this concert and then the Taylor Swift Reputation concert that I'm going to next month, I was like, we'll do it. And another thing is, like, you probably already know this, but being that it's a festival, there's all kinds of booths and everything. And one of the booths was actually PETA 2. I think that's how you pronounce it. Actually, what was the concert called? Doesn't really matter, but it was the Ready Set concert with Metro Station, Against the Current, and all that stuff down in Pittsburgh at the Altar Bar. And they actually had people, handing out stuff like this, and I actually got on their text message group. You just, like, send a text to the number that they tell you to. It's like 738 something, I don't know. But they had a booth for that here, too, and they just send you text messages every once in a while. They're kind of annoying, but you deal with it. Because it's, like, about sad stories about cruelty to animals. So they gave us, like, this. They gave us a little bracelet. They gave us a sticker that we put on our legs. And it, like, entered you into a drawing for free stuff. Didn't win anything, of course, but... And I also got this, just random things while you're walking around. I got this flower crown because I like daisies. Daisies are, like, my favorite flower right now. I don't know why. But I couldn't find a good way to put it because I don't like wearing headbands, so I just kind of, like, tied it around my ankle. I left a pretty big mark on there because my calves are a little bigger than I thought, but that worked out. Another booth that we got stopped at was this one for Beyond the Lies. And they just say, like, hey, if you come over here with partner, we'll set you up on the video. And if you just sit and watch this 4-minute video together, then we'll give you $1 for watching it and talk to you afterwards. So we were like, sure, might as well kill some time. And, like, you know, animal cruelty and learning about, like, different things that factories do with animals whenever they're, you know, making food and stuff. It was a video. It was a really sad video to watch, but that was kind of expected. It was really hard to watch at some points, but yeah, you just put in like your name and email address. Then at the end, they give you this little booklet with $1 sticking out of it, and it's a real, actual dollar. We actually spent ours, but yeah. And they talk to you. They're like, how did you feel about this? Like, what do you think? Blah, blah, blah. And the last thing that I wanted to mention is this stupid boot. We got these, and they had like a slushie in them, a Mountain Dew slushie. It was frozen Mountain Dew. This was $8, which is really small if you compare it to my head. Whatever. You don't know how big my head is, but just pretend you know. It was $8 for that, and there was a whole bunch of booths for frozen drinks there, but that was literally the only frozen drink they had there that was an alcoholic, and I'm not 21, I can't drink, and I wouldn't want to drink. And then the girl that I went with was driving, so obviously she wasn't going to drink. So that's just something to keep in mind. Just stay hydrated if you go, have a good time. Even if you don't know a lot, like if you want to look up the bands online beforehand, I'd recommend that. That makes it a lot more interesting when you at least know some songs and you can kind of get into it. I mean, people dance no matter what, but it's easier to get into it when you're like yelling the lyrics to a song with other people. So I kind of wish I did that, but make sure you bring a backpack. Everyone says that. And I had a collapsible bag inside my backpack, and it ended up coming in handy because everything was getting so heavy and so full. And we didn't even know a lot of the bands, so that just proves, like, if you know a lot of the bands or you know you're going to be buying a lot of merch, make sure you bring a bigger, like, full-size backpack and not just a drawstring one, or bring extra bags. Remember, you can only bring one factory-sealed water bottle per person. Bring lots of money for drinks. Wear a lot of sunscreen, whether you think it's cool or not. Gotta do it, and have a good time. If you have any more questions about my experience, I guess, just let me know. If you want any tips or whatever, I'm not a professional. I haven't been to Vans Warped Tour before, and I was barely there. I was there for 5 hours, but there's a lot more people that go a lot longer. So, if you have any more questions, if you want to see anything new, if you want to hear any more about the Reputation Tour by Taylor Swift, or just anything in general, let me know. And I'm sorry this was kind of all over the place. It's a super long video, and I look like a mess right now without makeup and my hair just nasty, but I hope you enjoyed, and have a good day. Bye.